Chevrolet just unveiled their new NASCAR Cup Series car, though maybe I should put new in air quotes. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Happy Friday, folks. A lot of NASCAR news to get to, the big Chevrolet reveal. But first, this episode is sponsored by Opti-Coat, makers of professionally installed ceramic coatings. Last year, they coated my car with their Opti-Coat Pro ceramic coating, and months later, I am still noticing a difference. Opti-Coat Pro bonds to your car's factory coat, intensifies the glossy finish, and protects the paint from messes. Look at how it repels water. If you visit Opti-Coat.com, you'll find everything you need to keep your car looking like new. From Opti-Coat's wheel and tire to their waterless cleaner, which have come in handy, and you can use code JEB10 or WARD10, as in Jeb and Ward Burton. Opti-Coat have been huge supporters of Jordan Anderson Racing this year, Jeb Burton, of course. Those codes will get you 10% off at Opti-Coat.com. Click the link down below to learn more. Thank you to Opti-Coat for supporting the show. All right, a couple quick stories before we get to the Chevy unveil. Josh Williams is returning to DGM Racing after spending a year and a half at Colleague. Williams will return to DGM full-time. Josh Williams is a Florida driver. DGM Racing is a Florida-based team, or at least they used to be, or at least they used to split their time between Florida and Charlotte. I'm not sure what they do now. Josh Williams, Mario Gosselin have a good relationship. Some of Josh Williams' most impressive runs came in Mario Gosselin's DGM equipment. Some standout performances, as well as the notoriety he gained from parking it on the front stretch at Atlanta. That got Josh Williams an opportunity at Colleague Racing, but the timing just didn't seem to work out. Colleague Racing did not have a ton of speed the last 2 years. Even AJ Allmendinger went from winning 5 races a year to just 1 in 2024. Shane Van Gisbergen carried them at the road courses. And this year, 2025, for the first time in years, Colleague's Xfinity team was completely shut out from victory lane. I'm not fully excusing Josh Williams here. He was usually the third guy on the team. I don't care how far Colleague has fallen off. You shouldn't have a 21st place average finish in Colleague Xfinity Series equipment. So for whatever reason, wrong team fit, whatever, just didn't work out. Good luck, though, to Josh Williams back at DGM. Hopefully a comfortable situation. Hope to see him do well in 2026. I feel obligated to touch on this real quick, but Brent Crews posted a short clip on social media today without any context of him in the hospital, apparently. I mean, he literally did the Family Guy hospital selfie bit right here. I mean, hopefully he's okay. Gosh. 17-year-old Toyota prospect won a bunch of ARCA races this year on a part-time schedule. Also looked pretty good in select truck series starts, especially at the end of the season. Final 3 truck starts, he was second at the Roval, 4th at Martinsville, and probably had the second best car at Phoenix before the transmission blew. Brent Crews definitely has a ton of potential. You don't need me to tell you that. So hopefully, whatever happened here, he makes a full, quick recovery. I don't believe there's been any confirmation of his 2026 plans. I remember hearing about some JGR Xfinity or O'Reilly Auto Parts series rumors. I'm not sure if that will happen or what, but I do know Toyota really likes this kid, so get well soon, Brent Crews, I suppose. But now it's time for the big news of the day. For months, Chevrolet has hinted that a new NASCAR Cup Series body would be introduced before the start of the 2026 season. Both Ford and Toyota made radical design changes to their cars before the 2024 season, but Chevrolet's Camaro model had remained largely unchanged since the next-gen car was introduced in 2022. Well, that is all about to change. Today, Chevrolet revealed their all-new 2026 NASCAR Cup Series car, and here it is. It's still the Camaro ZL1. It always has been. I'm pretty sure this is just like a 3D render too. Like that's not an actual car sitting there. Got me wondering, why did they change the branding this year from Camaro to Chevrolet if they were just gonna keep the Camaro anyways? Don't mind me, guys. Corporate asked me to find the difference between these two pictures. It's the same picture. Chevrolet released this press release saying, quote, "The latest Camaro ZL1 race car will feature upgraded styling that is aligned with Chevy's recently released Camaro ZL1 Carbon Performance Package accessories kit for owners to optimize the performance capabilities of the 6th generation Camaro ZL1 production car." So it's an accessories kit? So much for win on Sunday, sell on Monday, am I right? Or I guess now if I'm shopping on Monday, I'm shopping the pre-owned section because the Camaro ZL1 is not in production anymore and hasn't been for at least a couple of years now. Chevy added, quote, "The most prominent race car changes are a larger hood power dome, a revised front grille, and more pronounced rocker panels along the sides of the car." Okay. In all seriousness now, let's be serious. I can see that the hood dome on the new car definitely more pronounced than on the old 2025 race car. And they mentioned the grille. Yeah, I can see there's a subtle shape difference there. I'm also noticing that the hood louvers are a different size, a different shape than on the most recent Chevy cars. Like they're a little longer, look a little more like the Ford hood louvers. So I know we're all joking about how copy paste this looks from the most recent Camaro design, but there are some subtle changes, like the lifted hood dome on the front. I don't know if that's going to impact how their Cup Series engine performs by any means, but at the very least, that will make an aero difference of some sort. And the hood louvers too, that's got to mean something, or else Hendrick and Colleague wouldn't have been messing with the louvers 2-3 years ago. I just wish that as soon as it got out there that Chevy was going to update their NASCAR body, they should have come out and said, yes, we're going to make upgrades to the Camaro. Because as soon as us fans heard that, oh, Chevy is changing their NASCAR body, our imaginations ran wild. Are they going to introduce the Corvette to NASCAR? Are they going to create some other hodgepodge unique Chevy stock car design? Are they going to introduce the Cadillac brand? Our creativity got the best of us when in reality, just small tweaks to the Camaro was always the most realistic option. Sure, a Corvette Cup car would have looked interesting, and Cadillac, I don't think that would have made sense. Cadillac is their new F1 branding. Cosmetics aside, I'm interested to see how this new Camaro will impact Chevrolet's on-track performance. Because while yes, Kyle Larson won Chevrolet the 2025 Cup Series championship, Toyota took a noticeable leap this season. And over the past few years, Chevrolet has lost a little bit of their market share of race wins, if you will. Like go back to 2022, first year of the next gen, Chevy won a whopping 19 points paying races. They won 18 the next year, 15 the year after that. And yes, they did get to 15 this year, but keep in mind, 5 of those were Shane Van Gisbergen doing Shane Van Gisbergen thing on road courses. Chevy was still really good this year, won the championship. 2 of the final 4 cars were Chevrolets. They had the most wins, 15 wins for Chevy, but Toyota, with significantly fewer numbers, right there with 14 wins. So I will be really curious to see if this car change leads to a performance change on the track. Remember, going into 2024, when Ford introduced the new Mustang Dark Horse, they struggled out the gates. It took Ford 13 races to finally win a race, but as soon as they did, it was like the dam broke. They won 4 of the next 6. Ford won 5 of the 10 playoff races last season, and Joey Logano obviously won the season championship. I remember when Toyota switched to their new looking Toyota Camry, the flatter front end was meant to make them better pushers at drafting tracks. Drafting tracks was a point of emphasis for Team Toyota. So was there a point of emphasis behind these new Chevy Camaro changes? Larger intermediate tracks seem to have been Chevy's strong suit. Maybe they made some changes to hopefully get better at the short flat tracks, catch up to the Ford, specifically Team Penske. Although William Byron at Martinsville a few weeks ago seemed to do a pretty good job of catching up to Ryan Blaney and Team Penske on his own. So I don't know. I'll be really curious to see if, as the new year begins, if there's a notable improvement at certain track types or if Chevy is lagging behind at first at others. While they've still been running really good, it's easy to fall behind in the NASCAR Cup Series. The margins are so slim. Both Toyota and Ford have already made radical redesigns in the next-gen era. It was Chevy's turn, and while this doesn't look radical on the surface, I'm sure there are subtle differences that we can't easily see that will impact their on-track performance next season. For better, for worse, time will tell. I still remember, what was it, like 2018, 2019, when the Camaro was first introduced to NASCAR. They got away from the old Chevy SS. Those first couple of years were kind of a struggle for Chevrolet. And some of that was, Jimmy Johnson wasn't himself. Jeff Gordon had retired. Kevin Harvick and Stuart Haas had become a Ford team. Like, some of it was just, they had a lot of young, inexperienced drivers in 2018, 2019. But the cars weren't super fast either the last time Chevy made a radical change. I don't know that I'd consider this a radical change, but again, it will be interesting to see how this impacts their performance next year, because I believe it will, even if just subtly. Leave a comment down below, your reaction to today's somewhat anticlimactic Chevrolet 2026 car reveal. Are you worried about how this could impact performance? Not worried at all? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of your week, folks. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll be on vacation for the next few days, but I've got some other videos that I've already recorded, already edited in the pipeline that you will see between now and then. So stay tuned for plenty more. The off season isn't slowing us down. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll catch you again real soon.